It's time for your daily dose of all things Chicago sports. This is the Daily Score. Now, here's your host, Mark Grote.
Hello, what's going on? Welcome to the Daily Score. I am Mark Grote, and let's zero in a little bit on the Bears defense for a moment. We'll get to Justin Fields and Matt Eberflus's thoughts on the offense. But one thing that maybe the Bears are showing is a good amount, and they, some of this was built last year, but there's a decent amount of depth in the Bears secondary. We talked about that as a position of strength from a starter's point of view, but all of a sudden you have had in the last 2 years contributions from Josh Blackwell and Jalen Jones. In this game on Thursday, the Bears 40-20 win over Washington. Greg Stroman might have been the MVP of the defense with a sack and an interception. And I promised you guys yesterday, I told you, look, I don't just say stuff, okay? A lot of people just say stuff. I will deliver on my promises. I told you guys I would talk to Greg Stroman Jr. I told you that there's going to be a new Stro show in town, okay? There's a new Stro show in town. He is Greg Stroman Jr. Had a whale of a game on Thursday, and you're damn right he was the next man up.
And it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing just to be in the building and just play this game that we all love. I mean, it's been fun. It's been a grind, and definitely it just brings me closer to a lot of the guys in the locker room, and I can only say it's just been a blessing, man.
Did it have extra meaning for you to do it in Washington?
Yeah, it was fun to do it there in front of my family. My family was there. I was able to see the game, so that was fun. Well, I put our best foot forward.
What's more gratifying to you in a game, getting an early interception or a dialed-up sack and we get home?
The win, man. Just the win. Like, it means nothing if we would have lost. So, I mean, just leaving with a win, being able to help my team when my number is called, that just means the world to me. So, both.
So I just wanted to deliver on that promise. Good for Greg Stroman Jr. And if nothing else, you know that you have that guy. He's not going to be replacing Kyler Gordon or Jalen Johnson anytime soon. But look, the dude was balled out, man. And, he's been around a few years, so that you could have a developing player on your hands as well. As for the rest of that defensive backfield, Kyler Gordon cleared to practice, so we'll see him out there. No guarantee that he's going to play, but I think he'll play. Also, who was the other guy? Oh, Doug Kramer, the offensive lineman, also cleared to play. That has nothing to do with the secondary, but look, we take care of our Illini guys. Doug Kramer, local guy, 8 Bears on a scale of 1 to 10. That's pretty good. So Doug Kramer returns as well. The running back situation is problematic for the Bears. I mean, it's pretty funny how it's such a devalued position. We know all about that. And then all of a sudden, as the running backs went down one after another on Thursday night, Khalil Herbert, Travis Homer, and Roschon Johnson was like, oh my God, I appreciate you. Don't stop getting hurt. It can't be down to Khari Blasingame. But it did come down to Khari Blasingame, who was fine, 8 carries and 26 yards. But I don't know about you, but I wanted to hold running backs close to me after that. The Bears were put in a position because of all the injuries where they brought back an ex-Bear. They signed Darrynton Evans off the Dolphins practice squad because all of those guys are injured. And here's Darrynton Evans talking about that.
Watching that, what do you think of that as a running back?
Yeah, I was watching the game. Seeing guys go down, you never want to see that. I was happy to see Khari get a chance. Obviously being around Khari for my whole career in Tennessee and here, I know what he can do. So everybody sees Khari as a fullback. I see Khari as a running back. Seeing him actually get some runs in practice and other games, different things like that. So I knew the team would be fine with Khari in the game.
You had to have been thrilled, right?
Yeah. I texted him right after the game. I'm like, bro, you're supposed to do a little more than what you did. I wanted to see you show some of the moves off, but he did a good job.
Yeah, again, Khari Blasingame, 8 carries, 26 yards. And I'm going to make another promise to you. Ray, write this down. Another promise. I will talk to Khari Blasingame to tell him what Greg Stroman said, that, he expected a little bit more out of him. So make sure I deliver on that promise, because that's what we're building here. We're 1 for 1 on matching promises. It will happen. So that was Darrynton Evans. I don't know if he's going to play. We don't know the statuses of Roschon Johnson and Travis Homer and Khalil Herbert as of now. It looks like the Herbert thing, he could be out 3 to 4 weeks. That might even be IR, which would be automatically 4 weeks down for Herbert. But we'll see how much running backs matter, I think. If nothing else, right? Like, this is an experiment, and can you just throw anybody in there and they'll be all good? I mean, so we might find out a little bit about that. Let's go to Matt Eberflus now and talk more about the offense. And it's pretty obvious that things have gotten a whole hell of a lot better in the last 2 weeks, to the point where I am back to, all right, let's see this quarterback. Do you have a quarterback? Do you have a quarterback? I'm not ready to say yes yet, but it's back on. I haven't given up on Justin Fields. Matt Eberflus, why is the offense looking so good all of a sudden?
When you guys went back and scouted the schemes, when you looked at the first 3 weeks on offense compared to the last 2, what led to the change?
I just think that we were aggressive. I really do. I think that Justin's more comfortable, and I think that we're just getting used to the continuity and the consistency of playing with and next to each other. And I think that's just really it.
Okay. I mean, whatever the reason. I mean, and there is something, a lot of times you hear something just like sounds like BS from the head coach, and maybe that was just BS. But I will say that the continuity factor was something that early on in, all the way back to the mini camps and the individual practices, continuity was the word they were boasting. And then they lost continuity because of all the injuries in training camp. So now you could say that there is a comfort now finally with Justin Fields and his guys. At least that's what the Flus is saying. That's not all the reason for Fields' surge. It's game plan. It's DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a huge part of that. I mean, that is a quarterback-friendly wide receiver, because he lets you know that he's open, because he is open. That's his talent, getting open and then runs yards after the catch. Like, he's better at it than most, I think. So that helps a hell of a lot. And then, identifying that guy. We talked about this a little bit the other day on the podcast, and the ability to identify the open guys instead of us all harping on Justin Fields. So, my God, this guy was wide open in the end zone, or that guy was wide open 30 yards down the field and you dumped it off. That's a big part. So hopefully Justin Fields, for everybody's sake with the Bears organization and fans of Justin Fields, that he continues to progress in that regard. Last topic of the day is the defensive staff, and with Alan Williams' weird, still mysterious departure. Matt Eberflus has been calling plays. It sounds like he will continue to call plays, but he's sounding like a guy who's going to hire somebody to do something on the defense. Here's Eberflus.
And that position really for me is more of an analyst, more of a senior defensive analyst that would do advanced work for us for the upcoming opponent. What would give us certainly ideas and things how to attack that upcoming opponent, and just to get another set of eyes for advancing for us in that. And again, I don't have names, I don't have a timetable for that right now at this time, but that will be coming shortly.
Would you be looking for somebody experienced, someone you've worked with before that could take some of the defensive coordinator responsibilities off your plate? Really just,
looking at a few guys, and I think it's important to get the right guy, but certainly experience helps. Certainly somebody that's been in the league, a while, or has been in the league, so I think that's important that way. But also knows, has relative and knows your defense a little bit too, so I think that's good. But again, we're ongoing in the process of that, and hopefully we'll get that going here shortly.
Theoretically, would that analyst be in the building?
What's that?
Would they be based in the building, or would they do that?
We're still working through that. That's definitely a possibility, in the building, working partly remotely, so we can do either one.
Okay, I mean, pretty self-explanatory, right? I mean, he wants a scout, the advanced scout, essentially. And so that doesn't sound like a guy who would be on the practice field, doesn't sound like a guy who would be involved in much on game day. It is what it is. So Flus, I got a feeling old Flus is going to be calling plays all year long. So Yeah, I mean, based on the game plan that he put together against Washington, I mean, if he keeps doing that, then I don't think we need to question him very much. And I hope that is the case, but we shall see. Quarterback and offensive coordinator will speak on Wednesday. Going to be another busy week this week at Haugh Hall. I'll be reporting every day on the Score and on the Daily Score. For our executive producer, Ray Diaz, I am Mark Grote. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.